I'd like for us to discuss emotional bankruptcy. Do you understand what the term means? I mean, it's pretty much like a metaphor, but it has a relevance in our life, because I do think a lot of emotional bankruptcy starts with our lack of boundaries, the inability to say no, us being drained. So I'm gonna outline something and I'll share some videos with you just in case I can help to educate you, or you might want to expound on something, or I guess just enlighten you, whatever it is that you want to take away from this, because I do want us to understand the things that we go through as we heal. We are not yet healed, we are healing, so we are liable to do anything, say anything, partake in things that really does not benefit us. Sometimes we're going to take 10 steps forward and probably like 100 steps back, but the aim is to never stop trying, because healing is not just a 1 year thing or a 1 month thing or a 1 day thing. It's consistency. You understand? You always work on yourself no matter what.
How many of you ever heard of the phrase emotionally bankrupt? And it has nothing to do with money. Best way I can explain it is, you ever been hurt but you still try to love? Like you're super broke but you're doing everything that you can to get by, but nothing's working. You just feel so lost and confused, like you just feel so burnt out. You wake up mad and you don't even know why. You're mentally drained, you're mentally bankrupt. Make sense?
You don't ever give up on you, because you are the most important person that you know. Best believe that, and I need you to walk in that light, okay? All the time. I don't care if you piss a million people off, because you're you, and who cares if you piss people off? Authenticity is rare, and most times than none, when you are a very authentic soul, you don't really have much people around you, because you see through them, you see through the facade, and you're just not about to play kiss ass so that somebody's day and life can be better. Like, hello, who does that? So I'll give a little synopsis of what emotional bankruptcy is. Emotional bankruptcy is a metaphor for a state of profound emotional exhaustion and depletion, often caused by chronic stress, one-sided relationships, or unresolved trauma. This condition occurs when a person has continuously spent their emotional resources without replenishing them, leading to burnout and the inability to cope with feelings. Sounds like a lot of us, right? I know. What causes it? A person can become emotionally bankrupt through a variety of experiences, such as constant stress, lack of boundaries, unprocessed emotions, imbalanced relationships, and traumatic events. Some of the signs and symptoms are emotional numbness, which means that you feel detached from your own emotions or a general sense of emptiness. You have increased anxiety and sadness. You have fatigue, which is both emotional and physical exhaustion, even when you have sufficient rest. You have social withdrawal. You isolate yourself from friends and loved ones. You can also get like physical illness, which is unprocessed emotions that manifest as physical symptoms, such as a weakened immune system or chronic pain. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that you have your emotions running wild, so rampant to the point that it becomes a physical manifestation? So please, I understand that people are throwing around the word mental health and emotional well-being, but you have to live it, guys. It takes a lot of encouraging your own self. It takes shutting out some things that you probably never shut out before. It takes telling people, no, I'm not up for that. No, I don't want to. If they're even sharing news with you that you feel like it's just gonna cause you to emotionally be drained or exhausted just to hear it, feel free to tell those people no. Get out of my face. I don't have what it takes right now to talk about this, to indulge in this, to be a part of this. We have to understand the importance of us. We have to understand that us, or health, or mental health is top tier. And there needs to be boundaries, and then there needs to be non-negotiables at all times. I don't care how much you care for that person. I don't care how much you love them. You have to love you first, babe. You gotta choose you, no matter what that looks like. And sometimes standing by you can end up with you having no one around, because again, when you are authentic to who you are and what you represent, a lot of people are just gonna keep dropping out your life like flies, and you're gonna be like, well, damn, am I the problem? No, you just know what your worth is, and you've decided no more am I just gonna give leverage to you to use and abuse me to your liking, and I just stay here and be like, well, I care for you, so I'm gonna show up. No, care for yourself more.
You think it's just tiredness, that all you need is a holiday, just a way to recharge. This isn't a physical problem. You are emotionally bankrupt. You're the captain at work, right? You provide at home. You're doing all the things you said that you were gonna do, and you're supportive. You mean you're strong for everyone, except for yourself. And she can feel it, and this is why she doesn't touch you like she used to. She doesn't speak to you like she used to, and you feel numb. You're tired because you're doing it for everyone. So who's gonna do it for you? Now, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna rub you the wrong way. You may not have realized this yet, but you have just worked out a way to become invisible in your own story. And this was all because you believed that your silence and your suppression meant strength. You have confused burnout from emotional starvation. And I'm sorry, going on holiday is like a quick hit. You're going to be right back in this same mess until you learn how to recalibrate yourself. And I need you to understand that I'm not just saying you should recalibrate yourself for your relationship, because you will lose her. But you should recalibrate yourself so that you know exactly how to fill up your own tank. You're currently running, let's say you're running a full operation with half budget, and you can't go and get more budget because the budget is there, and that's what emotions are. They're the energy. And because you're not using that energy, you can't get more of it because you're spending most of it suppressing it. And until you learn how to navigate that space, you're going to carry on self-sabotaging yourself and wasting your own energy. So if you need help in understanding how to recalibrate and rebuild yourself, drop me a message and I'll show you exactly what you're missing out on. I'll see you in the next video.
So we'll talk about the recovery and prevention. To recover from emotional bankruptcy, a person must first acknowledge and accept their emotional state and then begin to rebuild their resources. So allow yourself to know that, okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is how I am feeling in this current moment. This has taken over me. Because how else are we going to understand what's going on with our body, with our mind, in our life overall, just us, you know? We have to understand that it is very important for us to be us. And sometimes we have no idea who we are. We have no idea what we're capable of. And that's why the map of you is beautiful, because then you get to just go on this crazy ride, a very adventurous ride. Some days you might be in the mood for this, the next day you might not. You'll be like, ooh, I like that yesterday. Or how many times, and who can relate to moments when you're feeling this kind of way, so you say yes to certain things, and then when the day comes, you're like, why did I even agree to this? Because you're not in the same mind frame. You know, so getting to know you is beautiful. It's time consuming though, and it takes discipline. So we have to master the art of discipline. And sometimes being disciplined is not really fun, because as I said, we lose and we let go of things that we've carried for so long. We have just been the sole carrier of the weight of the world. And sometimes we do feel like we have to. So imagine your own problems, your own emotional baggage, and taking on others, everyone around you, maybe your partner, your spouse, whatever you want to call it, maybe your friendship, maybe your family. That is a lot. And sometimes you get to the point where we just check out and you lose control of who you are. You lose yourself, and I do not want that, because trust me, it's not a good feeling. And the journey back to yourself is not exactly riveting, but it's there, and you can choose to shut yourself out and you can go around in circles, but eventually you have to get reacquainted with who you are. And when it gets to that point, you realize that, damn, I really fucked up. Okay, so here's how you can recover and prevent. Acknowledge your emotions. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without judgment. This is the first step towards healing. Set healthy boundaries. Learn to say no. Again, that is something that is so hard. And it has been one of the hardest things for me to tell people that I care for no. And even if I say no, I feel guilty about it, that I go back and say yes. And when you look at it, you know that you just taken on too much because your plate is already full. Nobody cares about that. They know that if they turn to you, you're going to say yes. So saying no is something that is so hard for a lot of us to do, but we can still do it. Again, discipline, okay? I need you to understand that boundaries very necessary. And that's why you're going to lose people, because the people who actually want to see the best in you and a better you, they are going to be like, all right, I understand. But sometimes you say no to people, and the way how they class you, the way how they disgrace you, the way how they act like you've never told them yes before, that's a big indication of people who are really not in your corner. Just say no this one time. Even if it's, say for example, you're emotionally secure and everything is fine and you have no bankruptcy going on regarding your emotional health, right? Have a situation arise and something that you can partake in, just say no. Just say no to it for the fun of it. Sometimes it's okay to test people. I'm not saying be an asshole, but you can test your friendships, you can test your relationships, whether platonic or intimately. You can test them and just see who's willing to have your back. So here's an example. Tell somebody that you need something and you'll see how they react to that. Tell somebody no to something that they ask for and you'll see how they react. You'll hear the words, and sometimes it's going to be so heartbreaking. You're going to be like, I would have never expected this from you, and I would have never thought this way of you. So for you to just change my mind like this, then like, whoa, you know? So test people. It's necessary. Trust me. Practice self-care. Engage in activities regularly that rejuvenates you, such as exercising, getting enough sleep, and spending time in nature. And even if that's something that doesn't rejuvenate you as a person, self-care looks different for everyone. You can probably go listen to live music from a band playing. You can probably just want to go on a solo date somewhere that you like. You know, just explore yourself. I promise you that it's just an adventure to get up every day and find out something new about you, and you're like, oh my God. You know, it's like dating yourself without sounding creepy. You can still date yourself if you're in a relationship. It doesn't stop you. But as a person, who are you? Because we will talk about relationships, because I feel like sometimes we get into relationships and we lose our sense of self. We just adapt to whatever is around us and whoever is around us, and then it's like we have no identity. So that's a different conversation. But I'm just saying, get to know yourself, date yourself, see what you like about you. You know, you're free to change your mind about stuff, you know, like you don't have to always just think that you have to go with something because someone decided that maybe it will suit you best. Who cares about their opinion? I mean, you can take in the opinion of others. That's not what I mean. But you come first all the time. You have to pour into you before you can pour into others. You cannot pour into people from an empty cup. It's impossible. There's nothing, nada. So that's you. But if you put enough liquid in it and you try to pour it in somebody else's cup, then sure, that's you sharing. But if you have nothing, and if you are nothing in this moment, not saying that you're like nothing, but I'm just saying like in terms of giving away yourself emotionally, if nothing is there to give, then what are they gonna get? You have to be better for you first, all right? Seek support. Now, this says that you should talk to trusted friends, family members, therapists, you know, counseling. I won't act as if therapy is pretty affordable. It's really not. They like to tell us that it is, but it's really not. It takes a lot. It is very costly. And then when it comes to friends and family, or even your lover, because you probably don't feel like talking about too much things with your partner because it's like you don't want to turn them off. And I mean, these are scenarios that you create in your head, because if you really have a partner that loves you, I don't really think there's anything you can say like that to turn them off. I mean, unless like you are a serial killer or something, then I mean, who wouldn't be turned off? Like, girl, I'm gonna call the cops right now, you know? So, but on a serious note, if you're dating someone, I would like to think that you can trust them to an extent, because this person is a representation of you, you know. Again, we'll have that relationship conversation eventually, but that person, whoever you spend your time with, is a representation of you. You guys will never be exactly the same. No two persons are the same, but you'll have similarities. And sometimes, you know, the differences, they're okay. So that's why I said to an extent. Now, if you feel like you're going through something where you're just emotionally drained and you cannot even turn to your partner and say, hey, this is what I'm going through, and know that they're going to give you support and provide a listening ear, then babe, that's probably not the best place for you. You probably got to let it go. And I think you know when you have to let go of someone, but we like to prolong it because we like to fall in love with the potentials. Stop. Anyway, talk to your trusted friends or family or partner. And unfortunately, we live in a society nowadays where you can't really even trust people like that. So yeah, sometimes it does get pretty alone. But guys, I'm here for you if it gets like that. Truthfully, and I know people say that a lot, but if you message me and you said that you'd like to really talk, I'll listen. I really will. We'll have to figure out how we're going to do that. But I really want us to grow, you know. I really do. I do believe in you. And you're amazing. And I need the world to remember I want you to remember that being amazing is not a crime, actually. And for the people that it pisses off, okay, dim your light for what? Belittle yourself for what? Demean yourself for what? For others to like you? You know, sometimes we try to fit in. We're not all meant to fit in. And no matter how much you might try to fit in sometimes, you never feel settled. You never belong. You know why? Because you were born to create a world that has like-minded people. So that's why when you try to fit into things, it just doesn't work out, because it wasn't supposed to. You weren't supposed to go there. That's not your path. Your path is to create this whole new place, this space where everyone in there represents the same thing that makes you shine bright. Okay? Keep that in mind. Now, rebuild your emotional awareness. Mindfulness practices like meditation can help you to reconnect with your inner self and identify your needs. Meditation is not easy, okay? When I just started meditating, oh my God, it's like I have so many things going on in my head. And there's music playing somewhere in my head too. I can never find it. It's like an isolated clip somewhere. But, not kidding guys. But when it comes to meditating, you have to remove all noise. Well, at least that's how it works for me. Maybe some people would like to hear noise. But for really meditating, you gotta isolate yourself from everything. You have to have this little moment. You can do 15 minutes, you can do 10 minutes, where it's just quiet, where it's just you and your thoughts, and you sit with yourself and determine how you're about to go about things. You listen to them, all of those thoughts that you have, whether negative, whether far from being uplifting, you accept them as they are. And after you've allowed all of those thoughts, think of the beautiful ways that you can maneuver and take control of who you are. I need you to understand that this is important. I need you to remember that you can do this. You were always amazing. Way before the world came and told you who to be and what to represent. And let me add these layers to you. You were shining before any of this. Go back to the time in your life when you felt the happiest. I bet you didn't know and didn't partake and didn't have to be part of, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, a lot of the things that happened. You were free. You felt amazing in those moments. But that's how they catch you in life, you know, by just adding things to you. And every time something is added that you didn't consent to, but society told you, be selfless. No, be selfish, okay? And I know that sounds pretty harsh. When you're selfless, that's how you become emotionally bankrupt. When you are selfless, you become emotionally bankrupt because you start showing up for the entire world. You start giving to the entire world. And this person that lives here inside of you, they don't even get to see you. You clock into work for everybody else except you. We're not doing that no more, okay? Focus on healthy relationships. If it's not being reciprocated, cut it off. And I know, again, sometimes we do not want to let go of certain people. Sometimes we do not know how, especially if they've been around you forever, they've been in your life forever, but you know that what they represent and what you represent cannot coexist. let it go. And I know it's easier said than done, but again, we are learning. So I have a lot of conversations to have with you guys, and I can only tell you from a personal point of view because I only know how to be myself, you know? So that's all the yapping that I have for today. I did a lot of chatting today and I'm tired. And I made some amazing soup. I want to go eat it. Well, drink it. I mean, eat it too because there's stuff in there. But whatever, you get the point. Anyway, I have to go. Thank you so much for tuning in. And it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for a moment of your time. Time is one of your most valuable possessions. Your second valuable possession is your health. Your health is your wealth. And health does not just mean physically. It means mentally and emotionally. And once we have that, you are the wealthiest person that exists, okay? So let's restore that health and wealth, and we got this, okay? I promise. It gets hard, but it gets easy.